Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, uncovering the secrets of the past and exploring the complexities of human experience. Today, we find ourselves in the Emerald Isles, where a tragic tale of famine, disease, and devastation unfolded, leaving an indelible mark on the fabric of Irish history. The Great Famine of Ireland, a calamity that would claim the lives of over 1 million people, is our topic for today's episode. As we delve into the earliest history of this catastrophic event, let us transport ourselves to the mid-19th century, when the seeds of disaster were sown in the fertile soil of Ireland. It was an era marked by poverty, inequality, and dependence on a single crop, the humble potato. The year was 1845, and the Irish landscape, with its rolling hills, rugged coastlines, and patchwork fields, seemed to slumber under a tranquil veil. However, beneath this serene surface, the stage was being set for one of the most devastating humanitarian crises in modern history. In the summer of 1845, the blight began to manifest itself in the potato crops of Ireland, particularly in the provinces of Munster and Connacht. By September of that year, it had become clear that the harvest would be severely impacted. The Irish peasantry, who had already been struggling to make ends meet, were faced with the very real prospect of starvation. The usually stoic Irish peasants, with their weathered faces and calloused hands, now wore looks of worry and desperation as they surveyed their withering crops. Key figures such as Daniel O'Connell, the charismatic leader of the Catholic Emancipation movement, had long warned about the dangers of dependence on a single crop and the need for land reform. However, his efforts were ultimately unsuccessful in addressing the underlying issues that led to the famine. The British government's response to the crisis was inadequate, with Prime Minister Sir Robert Peel's decision to repeal the Corn Laws in 1846 coming too late to mitigate the effects of the blight. In the years leading up to the famine, Ireland had experienced a period of rapid population growth, with the population increasing from approximately 2 million in 740 to over 8 million by the mid-19th century. This demographic shift, combined with the lack of industrialization and the limited availability of alternative employment opportunities, made the Irish people increasingly reliant on agriculture, and specifically the potato crop. As we explore the earliest history of the Great Famine, it becomes clear that this tragedy was not solely the result of natural causes, but rather a complex interplay of factors, including economic, social, and political conditions. The exploitation of the Irish peasantry by British landlords, the lack of access to education and employment opportunities, and the discriminatory policies of the British government all contributed to the perfect storm that would eventually lead to one of the most devastating famines in human history. As we reach the threshold of this tragic episode in Irish history, we find ourselves poised on the cusp of a catastrophe that would forever alter the course of Ireland's destiny. The stage is set for a tale of human struggle, of survival against all odds, and of the unbreakable spirit that defines the Irish people. Join me as we step into the heart of this maelstrom and witness the unfolding of one of history's most poignant and powerful stories. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we continue our journey through the tumultuous landscape of Ireland's past, navigating the darkest depths of the Great Famine. As we now delve deeper into the heart of the famine, we find ourselves in the midst of a catastrophe that ravaged the Irish population, leaving deep scars that would take generations to heal. By 1847, the situation had deteriorated significantly, with the blight having destroyed nearly 90% of the potato crop, the primary source of sustenance for the majority of Ireland's population. The impact was nothing short of apocalyptic. The once green fields now lay barren and still, a haunting testament to the desolation that gripped the land. The people, worn down by hunger and disease, moved through the landscape like specters, their eyes sunken, their bodies weakened by the relentless onslaught of poverty and malnutrition. In the workhouses, scenes of unimaginable suffering unfolded. These institutions, designed to provide a safety net for the destitute, were quickly overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the disaster. Conditions within their walls were dire, with overcrowding, disease, and hunger claiming countless lives. The workhouse in Dingle, County Kerry, for example, was so inundated that it had to turn away hundreds of desperate souls, condemning them to a fate worse than death. Yet, even amidst such unimaginable despair, there were beacons of hope. The heroic efforts of individuals and organizations who sought to alleviate the suffering are a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Figures like Father Matthew, a Catholic priest from Cork, dedicated their lives to providing aid and comfort to the afflicted. Similarly, the Quakers, with their unwavering commitment to humanitarianism, played a pivotal role in organizing relief efforts, distributing food, clothing, and shelter to those most in need. The British government's response to the crisis, however, remains a topic of profound controversy and regret. The laissez-faire economic policies espoused by leaders like Charles Trevelyan, who believed that the market would correct itself, only exacerbated the suffering. The delayed and inadequate relief efforts, coupled with the imposition of harsh laws like the Poor Law Amendment Act of 1847, which made it even more difficult for the poor to access aid, are stark reminders of the callous indifference that characterized much of the official response. As we explore this period, it becomes increasingly clear that the Great Famine was not just a natural disaster, but a complex interplay of human actions and inactions. The economic theories of the time, which prioritized profit over people, the political landscape dominated by British interests, and the social structures, which perpetuated inequality and discrimination, all contributed to the unfolding tragedy. The legacy of the Great Famine is profound and far-reaching. It led to a significant shift in Ireland's demographics, with millions emigrating to other parts of the world, particularly the United States, in search of better lives. This diaspora would go on to shape not just Irish identity, but also influence global politics, culture, and society. As we reach the midpoint of our journey through this pivotal moment in history, we are reminded that the story of the Great Famine is one of both unimaginable tragedy and unbreakable resilience. The depths of human suffering it exposed are a stark warning about the dangers of indifference, inequality, and the unchecked power of economic and political systems. Join me as we navigate the complex and often fraught landscape of Ireland's past, seeking to understand the enduring legacy of the Great Famine and its continued relevance in our world today. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we navigate the aftermath of the Great Famine, a period marked by profound social, economic, and political change in Ireland. The famine's devastating impact, which lasted from 1845 to 1852, led to the deaths of an estimated 1 million people and the emigration of another 1 to 2 million, leaving deep scars that would take generations to heal. As we delve into this critical period, it becomes clear that the Great Famine was a catalyst for significant transformations in Irish society. The massive loss of life and the subsequent emigration of millions led to a substantial shift in Ireland's demographics. By 1851, the population had decreased by approximately 20%, with some areas experiencing declines of up to 67%. This dramatic reduction in population had far-reaching consequences, including changes in land ownership, agricultural practices, and the social fabric of Irish communities. The famine also sparked a renewed call for land reform, as many Irish people began to question the legitimacy of the existing landlord-tenant system. The movement for tenant rights and land ownership gained momentum, with organizations like the Irish Tenant League advocating for reforms that would protect tenants from eviction and provide them with greater control over their land. Key figures such as Charles Stewart Parnell and Michael Davitt emerged during this period, championing the cause of land reform and paving the way for future movements towards Irish independence. Furthermore, the Great Famine played a significant role in shaping Ireland's relationship with Britain. The inadequate response of the British government to the crisis, coupled with the imposition of harsh laws like the Poor Law Amendment Act of 1847, exacerbated existing tensions between Ireland and Britain. Many Irish people began to see the British government as callous and indifferent to their suffering, leading to increased demands for self-governance and, eventually, independence. The legacy of the Great Famine can also be seen in the cultural and literary movements that emerged in its aftermath. Writers like William Butler Yeats, Lady Gregory, and J.M. Singh drew upon the experiences of the famine era, exploring themes of Irish identity, poverty, and resilience in their works. The famine's impact on Irish art and literature was profound, with many creatives seeking to capture the essence of a nation struggling to come to terms with its past. As we reflect on the Great Famine's enduring legacy, it is clear that this period continues to shape Ireland's identity and inform its relationships with the world. The famine serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of poverty, inequality, and the unchecked power of economic and political systems. It also stands as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, highlighting the capacity for communities to endure even the most unimaginable hardships. In conclusion, the aftermath of the Great Famine marked a pivotal moment in Irish history, setting the stage for significant social, economic, and political changes that would continue to unfold over the centuries. As we move forward in our exploration of Ireland's complex past, we are reminded that understanding this period is crucial to grasping the complexities of modern Ireland and its place within the global community. Join me next time on History with Herodotus, as we explore further chapters in Ireland's rich and often tumultuous history. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.